Yes, you're still watching TVC Breakfast. Now, with a population of over 20 million people, Lagos, Africa's largest city, has one of the largest youth populations. But alongside this comes with serious challenges from unemployment and the pressure to migrate abroad and the rising tide of drug abuse and substance abuse threatening the future of the youth. Now, the Lagos state government says it's committed to building a city where young people can thrive, not just survive. But how close are they to achieving this vision, and what are the practical steps that are being taken to empower youth while tackling social vices? Joining us in the studio for this conversation is Commissioner for Youth and Social Development, Honorable Mobolaji Ogunlade. Good morning.
Good morning, madam.
Thank you for joining us. Good morning.
Thank you.
It's a very important conversation that we're having today on the show because we've seen it happen a lot of times where we see a lot of youth, abuse drugs and all of that. No, but prior to that, I just want to talk about some of the achievements you have done so far. We speak about the free jam for the students in Badagry, which is something that we applaud you on because I'm very big on education. But now let's hit it back to the fact that we hear that most of our youths, they want to japa. They say that, oh, there is no employment in Nigeria. Because of the no employment, it pushes them to do other vices that they're not supposed to do. They blame it on the government. Most of the times, all the things you hear, there's no job. What do you want me to do? I need to cool off. And they take these drugs. And when they take these drugs, it gives us a bad effect. So as a person that focuses more on the youth, and there's something you always say, which I love. You say you cannot throw a bad child away. So even the good youths and the bad youths, you get to put them all together. I just want you to break this down for me.
All right. Thank you very much. And thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah.
So let me start by starting with the administration under the leadership of our Governor Babajide Olusola Sanwo-Olu, who the second term, our first term, the agenda was themes, right? The second term, it was themes plus. The plus, social inclusion, gender equality, and the youth. What does this mean? This means we are intentional and we are deliberate about youth inclusion and youth participation in governance. So starting from the very top, this has already been set as an agenda and needs to be cascaded down below, right? So that is intentional. Now, to bring it down to the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, we're doing a lot of things. We're responsible for the youths in Lagos. We say youths are plus or minus 60% of the population in Lagos State. If the population is plus or minus 30 million, it means we're talking about 16 million youths, plus or minus, which is a lot of youths. The government cannot do it alone. And for me, I've always been very quick to put on my hands to say, we can't do it alone. We need a lot of partnerships. We need a lot of collaboration with organizations and the people, because the people make the government, and it's a democracy, right? In the Ministry of Youth and Social Development, we do so many things. But a lot of focus and emphasis is always on the youth. But we actually have the social development arm of it. And what does that entail? Adoption, rehabilitation, abandoned kids. We have an agency, LASODA, people with disability. We have 15 homes and institutions, correctional facilities for young people, for boys, for girls. All of that happens, under the social development part of Ministry of Youth and Social Development. Now, you mentioned Japa.
Yeah.
Not everybody will be able to Japa. Some of us have Japa and Japadad, right? And for me, when youth come to me to ask me for my opinion, if you have the opportunity to go abroad, definitely go abroad. But always have it at the back of your mind that charity begins at home. You must always come back to see how you can, you must come back to
everything you've learned outside.
And then impute it back into the system. Right. We all know what it is to go abroad, to gain education, gain knowledge, and bring it back to implement it at home. So you can go, but ensure you come back if you really mean well for Nigeria. What are we doing to curb this? We have programs. First of all, we promote youth participation. Again, this is one administration that has the largest amount of young people in governance. I'm a young person, I am a commissioner. I have younger colleagues that are commissioners. We have several SSAs, senior special assistants to Mr. Governor. This is the first time a governor is appointing so many SSAs, covering 57 local governments and LCDs. Again, this is intentional, so that youths are part of it and we can communicate with one another through our network. We have programs where youths are actually given the opportunity to go abroad, right? And why we're doing this is just so that we can provide a platform for our youths to be able to compete on a global scale. We have a program which is Mr. Governor's baby program. It's called Latif Jakonde, Leadership Training Academy. Last year they went to India. This year they've gone to Singapore, right? In Ministry of Youth and Social Development, 3 years ago we took our ambassadors and youth transformational leaders to Spain. Last year we took them to Helsinki. This year we've been to Canada. These are not just trips for fun or pleasure. Of course, there's a bit of fun and pleasure in it. However, they're transformational leaders. They're going to gain exposure. They're going to gain some knowledge. And the idea and the intention is to bring them back home to be able to take it to their communities. Again, these are youths that are not politically affiliated. They are typical youths that believe in the system, believe in the government, and are willing to take a faith in the government, because a lot of our youths don't even believe in the government. So we make it free and fair. We make it open. I have an open door policy, right? So my office is like a stadium every single day. And why am I doing this? It's because the youths especially feel there's a disconnect. A critical part of my job is to engage. And to engage, I have to be accessible. So through that accessibility, we talk about employment, we talk about education, we talk about vocational training, we talk about support, you know, as required. So all of these are multi-layered and are some of the things that we're doing.
I'm happy you said that Lagos State government is intentional about youth development and so on. And you mentioned so many things that organizations within the Lagos State government that are purpose-built for youth development. However, I have not heard you say anything about drug rehabilitation centers in Lagos, because the truth about it is that this drug addiction is really staring us in the face. I see some young men moving around like zombies and all that, and it's because they took one call, is it Colorado or whatever. They give them all sorts of names. Fact is, the drug addiction level in Lagos State has increased. What is your ministry doing about it? How have you, what systems have you put in place to tackle this? That's number one. Number two is that 60–70% of your job is engaging the youth. What are your mass education programs that you've put together?
Okay, thank you. You see, for me, I call this drug abuse, I personally call it a pandemic. It is a pandemic, and let us, you know, grab the bull by the horn and face it directly. It is a pandemic, and because you're not doing it or I'm not doing it does not mean it cannot affect us. It is in our corners, it is in our communities, it is in our homes. The government cannot fight it alone. We must fight it as a people, and it's affecting our young people. What are we doing as a ministry? Whilst we understand we cannot do it alone, a lot of it is advocacy. We continue to advocate. Very quickly, when I resumed office, we realized that it was a pandemic, and what we have done is a unit, Lagos State Kicks Against Drug Abuse. We set it up. Initially, we set it up as a unit. Further down the line, we realized it needed to stand alone as a department. That is under the social welfare. That is deliberate and is intentional. A department so that it can focus on drug abuse. Every week, we have something called My SD Spectrum, which is Ministry of Youth and Social Development Spectrum. We're on radio every week. What are we doing? Advocating. We have a lot of conversations with a lot of celebrities, because we know celebrities have a large number of followers. Coming this Ember month, Small Doctor, who, you know, humble beginnings, and he's where he is today. We're in collaboration. He has a concert every year in December, and this year we're being intentional. We're going into the 3 senatorial districts to go and do a concert about advocacy. You know, we work in direct contact with the NDLEA. We have a program that we go into schools, because we've realized that the schools are not what they are anymore. From as young as 10 years old, our kids are imbibing in these vices. So we have a program that we go into schools, right? I mean, of course, a lot of it is through collaborating with the Ministry of Education, collaborating with our social family social service workers in all of the 57 local governments and LCDAs, going to the schools, advocating, making them, you know, brand ambassadors, as the case may be. We go into local communities, right? Because we know we have formal and informal youths, right? A lot of informal youths are the ones we see on the road that are often forgotten. I personally go into these communities. We go there, we speak to them, we give them responsibilities. A lot of them just want to be seen, want to be heard, want to have access, right? With this band, I give it to you as in that community, you're the one representing me. When you come to Alausa, you can come into my office with this band, for example. It's as little as that, sense of belonging, sense of responsibility. So that's one of the ways. You asked Lascada club in schools. We have Ibile ambassadors. You know, Ibile. Ikorodu, Badagry, Ikeja. So there's a program we have ambassadors in each local government. They are brand ambassadors. We continue to engage them to see how we can again use them to penetrate. We have the Lagos State Youth Parliament. These are young people in Lagos State who have interest in governance. They are emulating the House of Assembly, right? So these are young people that have shown interest in governance in their local communities. Again, through them, we cascade this information. A couple of weeks ago, I've written and signed over 200 letters to corporate organizations. Many corporate organizations, and what am I saying? What I'm saying to you is that, look, we can't fight it alone as a government. When this thing upturns, it affects every single one of us. And we continue to advocate, we continue to speak about it. The advocacy is never enough. We must continue to just advocate and see how, you know, we can tackle, you know, this pandemic. But again, critically, we must tackle it as a people.
One thing that I find fascinating is the fact that, you know, having a conversation with you, because we always say, give the young a chance, lead them in the dance. And now it's good that when you talk about the Commissioner of Youth, you're not getting the elderly, you know, youth, like it's very vibrant and all of that. I must commend you, regarding that. But if you look at Lagos State, no doubt, you know, sets the pace for. Of course, we have pace setter state, but then we know what state actually really set the pace when it comes to, you know, development and strides and making giant strides, even for other countries. But the challenge there is now we are fighting drugs, we are helping people, you know, we are rehabilitating people. Thank God you talked about informal youth. Some of these informal youth are the agberos, because people who have not even been to Lagos, they've heard about agberos, and then we know what they typify when it comes to their attitude, their manners, being mannerless even on the road. Some of them are brainy, some of them are, you know, eggheads. How do we also incorporate them? I mean, how do you incorporate them into, you know, some of these programs that you're bringing on the board? You also mentioned the ambassadorial titles that that people tend to earn, you know, representing people in terms of fighting drugs and all of that. So that brings me to the lady Mandikis. I think she's from Ikorodu, who has now been named an ambassador, you know, against drugs or something like that. And I'm wondering, people are asking questions. Are we rewarding people for their bad behavior? That's the question.
Okay. Before I answer that, let me quickly touch on agberos. What is an agbero? An agbero is a human being. An agbero is a youth. An agbero is a citizen. But they've been termed agbero over time. If you remember where it started from, it was an area boy. Area boys are boys that were in a particular area, I believe in Fadei back in those days. And, you know, that word has just, you know, frizzled up into the air to mean something today.
Even someone has been called an agbero in this newsroom.
Okay. Right? But, you see, sometimes these agberos, because of the nature of my job, I have to interact with them. I can't run away from them. Every single local government I go into, when I think I'm wearing my face cap and I'm hiding, MyCom, once I hear MyCom, I know my people are there.
That's right.
They want to be seen, they want to be heard. Most of them are coming from broken homes, circumstances of the society. Believe you me, the amount of agberos that we have saved, you won't believe it. And again, it's by giving them that listening ear. It's not a job that can be done in one day. Right? We may not even be able to solve the entire problem, but being able to rescue, I use the word rescue and I use it intentionally, being able to rescue some of them is a success story, and hopefully it can transcend to so many others. You just asked about Ayomi Posi Fadaonsi, aka Mandy Case. Prior to Mandy Case trying to do her Guinness World Record, I didn't know who she was, personally. I saw this post online, somebody trying to do Guinness Book of Record to, you know, XYZ, 100 men. I'm commissioner for youth, right? I'm responsible for the youths in Lagos State. The good, the bad, the ugly, the fine, the deserted, the abandoned, the vulnerable, the people living with disability, all of them. What I saw personally was somebody calling out for help. That's what I saw. We reached out to her and invited her to come to the office. And we started having conversations. Again, I'm in a very sensitive space. Right. You know, youth can go right or go left very quickly. So I need to be very mindful because I respect myself and I do not want to be disrespected. So not knowing her background and where she may come from, I came from an advisory perspective. You're 25 years old, plus 10, you'll be 35. You want to settle down, you want to have a family. Your potential husband goes online to see what you're about and he sees all of this. How would you feel? I saw the remorse. For me, that was a signal to say, okay, I'm willing to listen to what you're saying. Because she probably thought she was going to be arrested or what have we. We started having conversations. Conversations led to me realizing that we needed to have deeper conversations. We had deeper conversations. Why are you doing this? Believe you me, survival. And it was clear to me she really wasn't going to go ahead with that GWR contest. She wasn't going to. Look, from my sitting point of view, I see so many things. The policies, the procedures, the government, the private sector, the streets, the people, and what they are saying. At that point, I needed to make some quick decisions, right? One of the quick decisions was for her to agree that she was going to go through a rehabilitation process. Again, part of my conversations, I realized it was a means of survival. Survival means so many things to so many people. And on that spot, I realized she needed attention and she needed nurturing. How am I going to do that? Of course, I can end it there and say, go home, we'll follow up with you. No, I wanted to give her a responsibility. This is a badge that we have. It's, again, an advocacy. Lagos State kicks against drug abuse, say no to drugs. Well, when I go to schools and we do a pop quiz and somebody gets the question, I give him this to say, you have access to me, right? So on the spot, I realized I needed to give her a responsibility. Okay, you know what? You have 402,000 followers. We need to turn this from negativity to positivity. We all have younger ones. We don't even know if they are followers. So it may affect them. But in that 402,000, there are some people that need to just hear her say no to drugs. Because she's a leader in our own regime, whether we want to accept it or not. 402 followers, where are they from? Now, very quickly, I just gave her that responsibility. Of course, the term is ambassadorial. Ambassador means so many things. There's no monetary value. Doesn't come with a car. It doesn't come with anything. It's just advocacy for us to say no to drugs as responsible citizens. That's what it was about. And again, it was just for her to have a sense of responsibility. You can't throw the baby out with the child.
Exactly.
It raised so much controversies online. And believe you me, I'm happy. You know why? If I'm able to save just Ayomikosi, it is a success story to me, right? As of today, before she left my office, she asked me, I want to go online and delete all of my posts. And I said to her, no, don't delete it. Why did I say that? I said, everybody has a past, but you also have an opportunity to move forward. You don't need to delete it. People that would learn, let them learn and see where you started from and see the progress. Guess what? Less than 12 hours after, she deleted her entire Instagram page. Again, to me, it shows progress. It shows she's willing. She has put up her hands. Let us pull her up. That's what she's trying to.
I love the ideology you just shared now, but I'm going to continue with this question. You know, oftentimes, how do you explain this to the world? How do you explain this to the youth? Because when that news came out, everybody was totally against it. I read some of the comments and they're like, what is Lagos State doing? How can they do this? But look at the way you've explained it. People now understand. But let's talk about Naira Marley a bit. I remember when they made him an ambassador. At the end of the day, my only cry is that these people, do they just do this thing for some time, then later they go back to their old ways? That's my only cry. How are we monitoring these people to make sure that, okay, right now, she's been given a badge, which I think all of us will be given a badge before you leave, by the grace of God. She's been given a badge. How are you sure that at some point she's not going to take it off and go back to her old ways when she has even built more positive followers? That's my only fear when these decisions are made.
Okay, so I can't speak for Naira Marley, and I can't speak for the people who are taking that action. I can only speak for myself, stand by my actions, and to be able to defend it. I'm not opposed to constructive criticism, and if I see that I have defaulted somewhere, I'll put up my hands and take responsibility for it. It doesn't make me bigger or smaller. I stand by this, by what I have done. Now, can there be a relapse? Absolutely. 100%.
How do you deal with that then?
Fine. A relapse, it's not easy. We've seen people that are trying to win off drugs. They tie them, they are screaming, they are tearing their hair off and all of that. It's a process. The journey of 1,000 miles starts with one step, right? This is a step. Yeah. Can she relapse? Yes, she can. What are we doing? For me, what are we doing? We're rehabilitating her. She has agreed to therapy sessions. She has agreed, again, to work with us to advocate. If you're advocating for us, you need to leave some of those things. Yeah. The fact that you have even deleted those videos shows that you are being rehabilitated. Yeah. If she goes back, will I say I made the wrong decision? No. Again, it's additional responsibility for us to ensure that we continue to rehabilitate her and see how we can help her. Yeah. And then lastly, everybody has their own opinion. There are several ways to skin a cat, right? What makes my way the right way? What makes your way the right way? What makes everybody's way the right way? Again, because there are several ways to skin that cat, we must try any process or any procedure that we think will work. And again, the intention is to see how we can save
I know that our time is a little bit going, but I just want to ask you this very important question. We've looked at the brain drain, you know, with our youths in Lagos State. Most of them just want to go, is either Guinness World Record or any fasting that will give them fame. We're looking at what are the other things that they can do, because most of them want to be famous. When they are famous, what are they doing with that fame? Yeah. So what are we telling Nigerian youths as the, you know, commissioner? You have been doing a great work. You are very passionate about the youth. We need them to stay. Even when they go, we need them to come back. And there are other ways you can be popular and make Nigeria proud rather than, you know, Guinness World of Record or what other people do. Well,
the youths are the leaders of tomorrow starting today. Nobody's going to change Nigeria for us, especially for us that are here. So we need to, first of all, encourage ourselves to be here. The youths also need to believe in the government. Take a leap of faith.
How do they believe in the government when sometimes it's failed them?
When sometimes?
It's failed them.
Well, you see, failure, you can define failure in so many ways. For me, as Commissioner of Youth, first of all, I'm accessible, I'm engaging, we are doing programs that people can see. We're in the media era. A lot of the things we're doing are online. We have an online presence. We have a lot of trainings that we're doing digitally to be able to, and not just in one location, online training, so that people, community-based, people that are far away can tap into it. So we're doing several of these programs so that we can go into the grassroots. We can't change the entire scope. We must try, we must attempt. We're saying there are 16 million youths in Lagos. Not every single youth is going to be touched. But again, the more we foster collaboration, the more we form partnerships, private, public partnerships, the more we rely on media houses like yourself to echo what we're doing, you know, as a government. Very quickly, internship programs, we're doing it. Agricultural empowerment, we're doing it. Women and young girls empowerment, we're doing it. People living with HIV empowerment, we're doing it. Informal youths empowerment, we're doing it. Formal youth empowerment, we're doing it. But again, the youths also need to know where to look for this information, which is why we're bringing governance closer to them, which is why we have appointed so many young people in the cabinet to be able to go back to their grassroots, you know, to be able to connect with the community and the people.
How do they reach you on social media or you have a website?
Well, to make it easy, my name, Mobolaji Ogulende, on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Also, Ministry of Youth and Social Development, LASG, my SD, which is Lagos State Government _, my SD. And of course, because Lascada, my SD, Ministry of Youth and Social Development. And of course, our baby Lascada, we've made it a standalone, and Lascada has its own standalone. Lascada means Lagos State Kicks Against Drug Abuse. Right? Just so that, again, we can continue to drive this message down, you know, to our grassroots and to our youths.
Makes a whole lot of sense.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Amazing conversations. It's just beautiful to see the things that, you know, have been done. And I feel like sometimes the youth should not go to the proper places to get this information, because when we see them talk, they're just talking from the negative side. Let's talk about the markets in Nigeria now. Let's just touch on it a bit. You know, I remember when I was talking during the Nigeria 65, we're talking about how oftentimes when it's bad news about Nigeria, you see it out there a lot. But it's not like other countries do not experience it. But why is it that in Nigeria, especially the youth, we are fast to say, don't let Nigeria happen to you. Oh, Nigeria is this. Oh, don't come to that. We keep speaking bad about the country that we say we love.
Well, you know, everybody has their own opinion, and everybody has a reason for saying so many things. For me, I would always continue to say, the more of us that see positivity in Nigeria, let us try and bring them into that space where they can re-echo it. But we're a minority at the end of the day. For those of us that are intentional, that are passionate, and are looking for real change, we're a minority. But again, there are some of us that are out there and they are sitting on the fence. So it's for us to call those on the fence to come and join us so that we can continue to grow in numbers, right? But for those that continue to do that, again, Nobody's going to change Nigeria but us.
True.
Right? No international personality is going to come in. So we are the drivers of change, especially the young people, and we have the power. But it's a mindset thing. Right? It's just a mindset thing, and we need to shift that mindset.
What a beautiful place
to positivity.
to leave the conversation. Thank you so much. It's so good to see all the positive things that you have been doing. Like you know, the mindset, we definitely need to shift that. But still ahead on TVC Breakfast, 7 years left on the clock. Can Nigeria truly deliver on the promise of a malaria